What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video what I'm going to be showing you is how to install and create the Minecraft Java server. So this is only going to work for Minecraft Java Edition, but this is going to be how to create a vanilla server on Minecraft Java Edition 1.15.1. This will work in any version, but right now it's updated to 1.15, so this is the method how to do it. The download will be in the description below. It's literally one file, it's not hard at all. Remember, the vanilla server you can't actually use any plugins or mods on, so we are going to have to use just a standard server which isn't modified in any way, but I will show you how to set it up and configure it. And for other types of servers where you have mods and plugins, so Spigot, Paper and a few of the other types of servers like the Technic servers, I am going to make other videos on how to make those too. So you want to go to the Minecraft.net website, and there is some tutorials and guides, but for the most part we're just going to download this. And this is going to be really important, okay? So we are going to make something with this soon. I'm going to show you what we're going to use this for in a second. First you want to click keep, so you keep the server so that the file saves, and it's not a virus, it's just what Google Chrome does. Then we want to right click, go to new, and make a folder where you want to create it. I'm just going to make it on the desktop just because it's easy to show you, and I'm just going to call it Minecraft Vanilla Server. You can call it anything you want, I'm just going to call it Minecraft Vanilla. And then we're going to go to the downloads, and I'm going to cut this file, and then I'm going to paste it inside our new folder. You can copy it, cut it, whatever you want to do, and paste it in our folder. So now we have the server file, but what we need to do is we need to make a file which opens the server jar, because the way that you do it standard by just opening it doesn't really work, it kind of bugs. So you want to right click, click new, and then click text document, and we're going to call this startserver.bat. And press yes, and then you can right click and press edit, or if you've got Notepad++ like me, you can just edit it with that, which I personally prefer because this is just a much better program than the standard Notepad on Windows. And then what we're going to do, go back to the Minecraft website and copy this, okay? Then go back to our text file and paste this in. So what this means is it's going to use 1000 MB of RAM, which is 1 GB, and it's going to open with Java this Minecraft server.jar. So this should be the name of your jar. Don't change the name of the file you downloaded, and then it's going to say no GUI. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to copy this, okay? Everything up to the .jar, so 1.15.1. I'm going to copy all this, and then when I close this, I'm going to rename the server.jar to that, because then it should open correctly, because that's the command that we pasted in. So now all we do is we just right click and run the server.bat, and hopefully it should actually open up and we should see some progress. So you'll see the first time that we ran it, it actually created some files, but then it instantly closed. So you're probably wondering, why is the file closed but it's still done something? That's because we need to right click and press edit on this, which is the EULA, and this is just an agreement you have to agree to in order to run a server. So change false to true, and then press save, and we can close this. And now if we open up the start server.bat again, everything will completely download, set up the world, and do everything we need it to. But first of all, we're going to open up and we're going to click edit on the server properties. You are going to need Notepad++ or a similar text editor software for this though, because the normal Notepad in Windows doesn't actually open up this file. So we're going to open up this, and this is basically all the core stuff. So we can change the radius of the blocks for the spawn protection, we can change the port of the server, we can change the generator settings, which is usually if you want to change it on a modded server to a Biomes O Plenty world generator, for an example. You can force the game mode to creative or survival, you can disable the nether. There's a lot of different options. Obviously we can change survival to creative if you want the default game mode when people spawn to be creative mode, and you can have a whitelist on if you want to have only certain players be able to play your server. So there's some pretty interesting stuff. First of all, you want to change the difficulty to normal, because it'll be on easy by default, and especially if it's on peaceful for some reason, you do want to change that, or not all mobs are going to be able to spawn. Spawn monsters should be on true depending on what server you should have. Leave this op permission level to 4, because that means the ops will be able to use all commands. PvP true, and then we can go through and change a few different things. So we can change hardcore to true if you want to have a hardcore server. So if you're bored of the normal Minecraft, for an example, and you want to play with some friends on hardcore mode, this is how you would do it. So you would actually change that. Command blocks, they're disabled by default, so you can enable them. And then this is where you change all of the interesting stuff. So I'd leave the world size, because we don't know what that number means or how many blocks the world size means really. You can change the max players, so depending on how good your internet connection is or how good your PC is, you can host more players. Now it's on 20 by default. You might want to turn it down if you're just trying to play with friends, but if you want a bigger server and you have a really good internet connection and a really good PC, you might be able to host a big server. Maybe you even own a server or a PC just for having a Minecraft server, so that would be a choice. Then there's a few different things. Server ports really important, and server IP. You can mess with these and change them if you're opening up your server to other players, but since this is just a tutorial to show you how to make a server, I'm running it locally on this machine, so I'm not going to be changing that, but that is important if you want to make your server public. But then you also have to open ports and do some other complicated things as well. Spawn NPCs, allow fly. If this is on false by default, this will kick anyone who's using a fly hack, and sometimes it will kick any player in creative mode if they're not actually an op. So I would be wary about enabling this depending on if you've opted people using creative mode, or if you want to allow people to use modded clients and fly mods for an example. You can change the level name. If you generate a world and then want to make a new world, you can change the level name to something else like world 1, and then it will generate a new world and use that as the primary world. For some reason the view distance is configurable server side. The resource pack here, now this is interesting because I said on here this is where the resource pack goes. You can paste it here as well, because I'm pretty sure this is the main part where you paste it. I'm not entirely sure what this part means per se. I would definitely leave that blank, but this is where you put the resource pack, the main line. Spawn animals needs to be true. Whitelist, you can enable it, and then you can enforce it up here. And then you can set the Archon password, which means if someone types that in, they basically get full server operator permissions and they get all the commands, and they can basically just mess around with your server. So make sure that password is complex and people can't guess it, because that's how a lot of servers have got hacked in the past. You can change the build height. I'm not sure if you can go past 256 nowadays, but that's usually the height of the sky. And then a few different things, like you can put in a custom seed before we open the server and run it again. Now this is the time where you put in a custom seed and mess around with the world options before the world actually generates. The Motd is the message of the day, which is displayed when you add the server to your server list on Minecraft. Some servers have a coloured text that says welcome to the server or the game modes that it runs. That's basically it. So I'm just going to put the Blue Crusader server for an example, and then I'm going to go ahead and press save. So now we can close out of this, and we're going to right click and run as administrator the start server.bat file again. And you should see in the background now, after just a little bit of loading, it should actually create some new files. So you'll see now it says default game type, generating certain things, data pack vanilla, preparing the world, and it's loading all the recipes and advancements of the vanilla game. And now you'll see that it's actually preparing the spawn area, and this is where it's actually going to start generating and creating our map. So wait for it to finish. It's done relatively quickly, and when it says done, this is it. All it has to do is prepare the spawn, because we're not running Spigot or Bucket, so we don't have any plugins to wait for. This is basically all you need to do. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to open up the Minecraft launcher, and I'm going to connect to Minecraft just on the vanilla. If you use Fabric or some kind of mod loader, as long as it's the version of the server, you can connect on that, but you can't use mods unless the server's running them, and since we use a Minecraft vanilla, you can't actually put mods on anyway. So go ahead, and we're going to open up the latest release 1.15.1 vanilla, and I'm just going to show you connecting to the server and how to connect. Like I said, the server IP is going to be different if you open up your ports and you put a custom IP in it. This video isn't going to show you how to open up the server to other players and make it public. This video is just strictly how to set up the server, so I'm only going to be showing you how to connect to it locally. So there's plenty of guides on how to open up your server on the internet that you can easily Google for. So now we're in Minecraft. I'm going to click on multiplayer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click add server. I'm just going to call it server tutorial, and then I'm going to type the address as localhost. So you can type in localhost, or you can type in 127.0.1, I'm pretty sure that's the IP, but localhost definitely works, and then press done. And now if the server's open as intended and it's still running in the background like as is, then you should be able to now see server tutorial, which is the name that we added it just now, and then the message of the day, the Blue Crusader server, which we configured. So now what we can do is we can join the server, but I'm going to show you one more thing. So if we open up the server console here, you can see that I can actually type in it, okay? So this is where we can input the commands. This is basically the server control panel. So I could type in a command without the slash, so I could type in OP space the Blue Crusader and press enter, and now it'll say it'll actually come with a returned communication from the server. So you'll see it says made the Blue Crusader server operator. So we can do that without restarting the server, and now we can connect, and I should be able to theoretically give myself items. So this is our Minecraft server now. We can mess around with it. Obviously it looks like it's lagging in the background because I'm showing you the screen rather than the game in the recording software, so it's not going to be great FPS. But you can see that this is the Minecraft server. We've spawned in a normal cave with bats, and we have what seems like a desert temple with all these particles. So this is just proof that it works, and since we've added ourselves to the server operator, we could use the give command. So we could give ourselves a block name. I don't really know what the blocks are nowadays, but it has suggested some stuff. So I'm going to give myself a villager spawn egg. You type in the /give, the player name, space, the item, and then the number, and you'll see I've given myself a zombie villager spawn egg and now spawned a zombie villager. But since I'm in survival mode, he is going to try and kill me, so that wasn't really a good idea. So that's how to set up the server, how to make players operators so they can use commands, and how to basically configure a Minecraft 1.15.1 vanilla server. Now this works the same for all Minecraft updates, so if you have come across this video and the game's updated, it's exactly the same process. It's the same link that you go to in the description. It will always be the same link, but it will just be a newer server version, and it's the same setup. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to actually work the whitelist system. Now this is only important if you've actually enabled the whitelist addition in the server properties, which I showed you earlier. So if you have done that, you can edit the whitelist.json, which is the whitelist file, and then we can go ahead and we can just bring it up right here. And now what this does is it whitelists players. So we'll just type in the name of the player we want to whitelist, and then we can put the Blue Crusader in there. Now if you have a whitelist on and you put your player name in, you'll be able to connect. That's basically all it is. That's how to whitelist players, how to opt players, and you can also refer to the normal default Minecraft commands on the internet if you want to know how to ban players and ban IPs, which will automatically save into these files. So thanks for watching guys. If this video was useful, make sure to slap the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on daily Minecraft videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.